is Bridging Health Care, and I am your host, Bridget. Thank you for joining me on this channel. The main focus is helping us to become highly effective healthcare worker, bringing informative, educative solutions to our world. I am so happy you're here. Sit down, relax, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Hello everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon or good evening wherever you are. This is Bridget from Bridging Healthcare. How are you doing? How is work? And those of us that are studying, how is the study going? If you have started since the beginning of the year, you should be wrapping up by now so that you can get into the job market. Health and social care is big, is loud, is beautiful, and is lucrative and is rewarding. Okay, so if you're thinking of a career line to take and it's for both men and women, it is not gender biased. Okay, and you don't have to be a carer. You can be a physiotherapist. You can be an occupational therapist. It depends on whatever field of work you want to find yourself. You can be a nurse. You can be a nursing assistant. There are so many things you can do, and it's quite interesting. Every day, I am grateful that I went into this profession, and I will not trade it for anything. And anytime I think about my future, it's always in line with what I've started doing and what I hope to do with it. So I'm not looking at changing roles, changing roles, yes, promotion, but changing career path, no, because it just makes me satisfied. So in this channel, like you very well know, I come up with very creative, educative ideas that makes you effective and efficient at your job as a healthcare professional. We are many things. We are one hand doing 16, 20 things at the same time, and we just really need to be effective and efficient at our jobs. And today I want to talk about something really exciting. Yeah, for every healthcare professional, any field you find yourself, you need to abide by some rules and some laws, and they keep you in check. They keep you professional, okay, and they keep you safe. They watch your back. They protect you. And so today we're talking about GDPR. And you ask me, what is GDPR? GDPR is General Data Protection Regulation. It was set originally by the EU, that is European Union, and it's just a rule that protects data, privacy and protection of people. And you work with people, you work with their health information, you have people's care plan that you've read, you've gone for assessment, you have people's information, you have their names, their date of birth, their condition and everything. And there are laws guiding, protecting people's information. And as a healthcare professional, it is one of the basics of our profession. We must protect our clients' information. That you have access to it does not mean that you go around town. People have rights to, even if they don't want their family to know. You don't say, oh, he's his wife. I can tell his wife, what if the wife does not have that right, she's not next of kin, or she doesn't have lasting power of attorney, or she doesn't have power of attorney, or she's not been deemed fit to act in best interest. And there is no documentation to tell you that person is, then you had better keep that information to yourself. In many countries like the UK and other countries in Europe, in the US, they are independent. UK is independent to keep the framework, and it's also under review. But I'm just going to talk about the different principles that guide what we do, and why you should protect and what can happen to you if you are liable to go to jail if you expose somebody's information wrongly. It can raise a safeguarding, and I have made that error before. I have done that. I have mistakenly sent somebody else's information as email, attached it to somebody else. There was an error, and quickly, thank God for a good organization. Somebody just called me from the organization, the quality control, and said, this thing you did is wrong. And instantly, a safeguarding had to be raised. Everybody has to do their job. and, I was cautioned, and of course, I can't make that mistake again. Yeah. So I'm telling you because it has happened to me and it may happen to anybody. So it's just good for you to know so that you are careful. Okay. So there are many principles that guide the general data protection. There are many principles. I'm just going to be listing 7 today, and I'm just going to be explaining them in bits and pieces. But before I go ahead, if you have not subscribed to my channel, this is the right time to subscribe, like, and share. Now, it's beyond health and social care. It's in every area. It's in childcare. You have to learn to just keep information, even in regular office. Let's assume that you work in an organization, and there are different sections, or sectors or departments. You don't have to carry what has happened in this department. Immediately it happens in your office, you have called this and you're carrying the information. It proves that you're not professional, and it can affect your job. So it's very important that you don't hide info, you don't carry information that has not been deemed public information. If your company has sent the information as an email to everybody and you're having that conversation with somebody, then it makes sense. But that you are taking an information that is still deemed as protected, and you're exposing it even before you even. For instance, in health and social care, if let's say you have assessed a client, and the client, you need to send an information of the client to somebody, it's always important to ask the person if the person is deemed mentally capable to say, can I share your information? We always even ask them to sign that. Can we call the doctor to say you're not feeling well, or can we call this? I mean, you give us that authorization before we can do that in my own space of work. So I'm just saying that it can put you in trouble, and we really need to be careful. All right, so there are 7 principles, and the first principle is lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. So when you're talking to a client, and you are or a patient, as the case may be, depending on your sector, and you really need to pass an information, it's always good to use the right terms. Okay, it's always also good to speak with empathy and to say the exact truth. Don't hide information. Don't cover up things. Don't say, okay, I'm gonna, I've once bought a car before, and I asked the guy what's the quality of this car, everything. I went online and checked, and some information were retrieved that I didn't even know. And it was when I wanted to sell the car, I found out that car was accidented, but the person that sold the car to me didn't tell me, and that thing was wrong. He kept information from me, which could have made me to make my decision if to buy that car or not. So the same thing with your clients. If you're with your clients and they're asking you what medication is that, they have the right to know what medication they are taking. They have the right to know if they want to use it or not. So it is very important to always stay within the law, always be fair, and be transparent, open. This is what we're doing. Don't hide things from people. And then the next thing is purpose limitation. So let's assume that you need to use this information to get another information. Probably you're calling social service to say, hello, I want to talk about XYZ. Then just focus on using it for that purpose, and do not do what is not within the purpose or the limitation of what you are using that person's name, because it is their name, it is their date of birth, it is their health condition, it is their history, and they have the right to protect it, and you also have the duty of care to protect their information. So always know that if you have used it and that's what you needed it for, probably you went for an assessment, you need to write a care plan. Once you have done and you're done with the documentation, shred it so that it doesn't fly from another place to another place. My organization, we always have a bag that has a code. If you get somebody's information, it must be in that bag, in that code, and no other person should know the code. And if you're going to keep it in your car, if you're living somewhere, you lock it up. And if you're going to go into somewhere again, carry it along. You don't leave, because it's people's information. Then the third thing is data minimization. Just get what you need. Don't go the extra. If this is what you need this information for, that's the only thing you should go about. Don't go about getting other information that you don't need. For instance, you're asking questions that are not relevant. Why are you keeping the information? They have the right, and you always say they have the right to retrieve the information. They have the right to say, I don't want to share, and you can't force them to share. If somebody doesn't want to share, they shouldn't share. Then the number 4 is accuracy. Make sure that your information is accurate. Make sure that the data you have is correct. Don't give the wrong date of birth for the wrong name. Always check and double check and triple check. It just makes you good at your job. It just makes you great at your job. The next thing is storage limitation. There are laws around storage. And know that even if you archive, you cannot archive more than 3 to 6 years. And after, if you don't use that information, let it go. Delete it totally from your system. Every organization have these principles in place. And that is why they are still running. The CQC in the UK and Europe, they manage health and social care, and they have the NHS, you have whatever it is, wherever you find yourself, IHS, whatever it is where you are. There are guidelines. Please go online and read the guidelines around data protection, around general data protection in your area, and follow it so that you don't use somebody's information and then you are in trouble because you didn't know. Also, number 6 is integrity and confidentiality. You must maintain people's security. You don't want to talk about somebody to them and then you are shouting or you are talking. That people are there and they are gonna hear. If that is not the best time to talk about it, please do not talk about it at that time. Sometimes if I go to visit a client and they've got a friend around, I don't want to have conversations that are that deep. Except they say, you can talk. Now that person has given you that authorization, but even if they've given you that authorization, please be careful. Cover your back, watch yourself, and protect your client, because whatever you are doing should be in their best interest. So always be confident, always keep their information confidential, and do it with integrity. Integrity is how you behave when nobody is there. So even when nobody is there, you don't have to share the information. And this also goes ahead to, in your organization, something happens, you hear something, and because you heard it, you're spreading it. Don't be a gossip. Don't be that kind of person that your mouth does not close. Please keep quiet. If you need to, just hold it in. If you don't want to be part of it, don't hear it, don't go around. That's why I don't subscribe to having friends at work. I'm saying have colleagues, have people that you have platonic relationship with. I'm not the kind of person that enjoys keeping friendship at work, because you don't know what is what, and then they will tag it on you because they assume you are that person's friend. So be careful. Finally, be accountable. You have made a mistake, please report yourself immediately. It's better that it's coming from you to say, oh, I sent the wrong information. What can we do? You see, than you heard about it and you kept quiet about it. And then when it escalates, it will turn back on you. So it's always good to, it still shows integrity. So guys, in our work, in our line of work, we have to abide by these principles. We have to protect our clients' information. It is our duty of care. So I hope this video has been able to help you. I'm always here to support. If you have any questions, please always come back to me. My name is Bridget Ezobiako, and it's been an honor talking to you today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.